Good morning, everyone, and thank you for choosing today's market analysis. Every day, our goal is to provide you with a thorough and knowledgeable analysis of the most relevant financial news to help you navigate the complex economic landscape. Let's begin our daily review. Market analysis, September 4, 2023. European stocks rose as China's stimulus measures and rate speculations boosted the Stoxx 600 index by 0.7% after 3 consecutive days of losses. In the United States, futures showed promise following the S&P 500's strong performance. Oil prices remained steady at their highest levels since November, with OPEC Plus supply cut developments eagerly awaited. U.S. markets were closed for Labor Day. The recent U.S. jobs report indicated a controlled cooling of the labor market, giving the Federal Reserve room to consider pausing interest rate increases this month, while still leaving the possibility open for another hike later in the year, according to Mark Hafley, Chief Investment Officer at UBS Global Wealth Management. Crude oil prices held firm, with WTI crude at $85.53 per barrel and Brent crude at $88.51, as Russia extended export curbs, and Saudi Arabia was expected to follow suit in extending voluntary curbs into October. Hong Kong's resilience in the Asian markets stood out, with the real estate sector gaining due to stimulus measures. Chinese builder Country Garden Holdings Company received approval from creditors to extend a maturing yuan bond. The recent U.S. non-farm payrolls report for August showed an increase of 187,000 jobs, surpassing the 170,000 estimate, but the unemployment rate jumped to 3.8%, the highest since February 2022. This is attributed to a growing labor force seeking jobs. Investors are cautiously optimistic, with a high probability of the Federal Reserve keeping interest rates unchanged in September and November, according to the CME Fed Watch tool. Major U.S. stock indexes posted gains, with the S&P 500, Dow Jones Industrial Average, and Nasdaq Composite all performing well. In Asia, futures contracts for Japanese and Australian equities showed slight upward movement, reflecting positive sentiment among investors following the U.S. jobs data, which may signal a pause in the Federal Reserve's tightening cycle. Central banks in Australia and Malaysia are making rate decisions, with a focus on maintaining accommodative policies to support economic growth in the face of ongoing challenges. China's equity markets are under scrutiny, influenced by government policies, economic data, and global trade dynamics, making them a focal point for international investors. The U.S. dollar had a mixed week, with a non-farm payrolls report for August showing both job gains and a rise in the unemployment rate, leaving traders assessing its impact on the USD. The People's Bank of China's decision to lower the foreign exchange reserve requirement ratio aimed to boost onshore U.S. dollar liquidity and soothe market concerns. Chinese real estate developer Country Garden securing approval from creditors provided confidence to investors, contributing to gains in Hong Kong and Shanghai. The global economic landscape remains complex, with investors closely monitoring data and news for insights into the path ahead. Before proceeding with our analysis, we would like to remind you that your support is very important to us. If you enjoy this video and find our content helpful and engaging, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. This helps us grow and provide you with even more quality content. Now, let's get back to the news on the financial markets and the latest updates. Euro to US dollar. After a rocky end to the week, with a loss of more than 50 pips, the euro to US dollar pair is showing resilience as it claws its way back toward the crucial 1.0800 level. This recovery comes after Germany's trade surplus data for July was revealed, showing a narrowing surplus at 15.9 billion euros, down from 18.7 billion euros in June. The market will be closely watching to see if the pair can regain its footing and whether it can sustain this momentum. Pound sterling to US dollar. The pound sterling to US dollar pair experienced a roller coaster ride last week. While it initially posted strong gains in the first half of the week, those gains were wiped out in a 2-day slide leading into the weekend. Currently, the pair is holding on to modest daily gains above the 1.2600 level in European trading. Investors are monitoring whether the British pound can maintain its position amidst ongoing economic uncertainties. Australian dollar to US dollar. The Australian dollar, represented by Australian dollar to US dollar, is on an upward trajectory thanks to an improved risk sentiment. As of Monday, it's climbing toward the key level of 0.6500. The Reserve Bank of Australia, RBA, is set to announce its monetary policy decisions during Asian trading hours on Tuesday. It's widely anticipated that the RBA will keep its key interest rate unchanged at 4.1%. This announcement will undoubtedly have a significant impact on the currency pair's direction. Gold ounce per US dollar, the shiny metal, gold, is fighting to maintain its bullish momentum after a somewhat challenging Friday. However, it managed to end the week with gains for the second consecutive week. Currently, gold ounce per US dollar is holding steady above the critical $1,940 mark. Investors are closely watching this precious metal as it continues to serve as a safe haven asset in these uncertain times. US dollar to Japanese yen. The US dollar to Japanese yen pair experienced a rally, driven by surging US yields on Friday. It has since stabilized above the 146.00 level at the start of this week. This pair's performance is closely tied to shifts in U.S. Treasury yields, and investors will be keeping a keen eye on any developments in the U.S. bond market that could impact the yen. Key events this week: Labor Day holiday in U.S. and Canada, Monday. ECB President Christine Lagarde makes speech at seminar organized by the European Economics and Financial Centre, Monday. Australia current account rate decision, Tuesday. Japan household spending, Tuesday. China Caixin Services PMI, Tuesday. Eurozone S&P Global Eurozone Services PMI, PPI, Tuesday. U.S. factory orders, Tuesday. ECB President Christine Lagarde chairs panel focused on central banks and international sanctions at ECB Legal Conference, Tuesday. Australia GDP, Wednesday. Eurozone retail sales, Wednesday. Germany factory orders, Wednesday. U.S. trade, Wednesday. Canada rate decision, Wednesday. Bank of England Governor Andrew Bailey testifies to the UK Parliament's Treasury Select Committee, Wednesday. Federal Reserve issues Beige Book Economic Survey, Wednesday. Boston Fed President Susan Collins speaks on the economy at New England Council, Wednesday. China trade, Forex reserves, Thursday. Eurozone GDP, Thursday. U.S. initial jobless claims, Thursday. Bank of Canada Governor Tiff Macklem to speak on the Economic Progress Report, Thursday. New York Fed President John Williams participates in moderated discussion at the Bloomberg Market Forum, Thursday. Atlanta Fed President Raphael Bostic speaks on economic outlook at Broward College, Thursday. Japan GDP, Friday. France industrial production, Friday. Germany CPI, Friday. Some of the main moves in markets. Stocks. The Stoxx Europe 600 rose 0.7% as of 8:24 a.m. London time. S&P 500 futures rose 0.1%. Nasdaq 100 futures rose 0.2%. Futures on the Dow Jones Industrial Average were little changed. The MSCI Asia Pacific Index rose 1.1%. The MSCI Emerging Markets Index rose 1.2%. Currencies. The Bloomberg Dollar Spot Index fell 0.2%. The Euro rose 0.2% to $1.0803. The Japanese yen was unchanged at 146.22 per dollar. The offshore yuan was little changed at 7.2679 per dollar. The British pound rose 0.3% to $1.2627. Cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin fell 0.3% to $25,976.66. Ether fell 0.2% to $1,638.97. Bonds. The yield on 10-year treasuries was little changed at 4.18%. Germany's 10-year yield advanced 2 basis points to 2.57%. Britain's 10-year yield advanced 2 basis points to 4.44%. Commodities. Brent crude was little changed. Spot gold rose 0.2% to $1,943.96 an ounce. In conclusion, we'd like to thank you for watching today's market analysis. If you enjoyed our insights and found the information helpful, Please consider leaving a like and subscribing to our channel to stay updated with future analyses. Thank you again for your support, and we'll see you soon with more interesting news. Remember, the information in this video is purely informational and does not constitute investment advice. Always consult with a professional before making financial decisions.